Hi and welcome back to OpenTTD. As you can see, a lot of things are happening. People are celebrating the arrival of the first ship at Maria Tafel docks. This is something that we built last session, I believe, where we had the small triangle here. And we said that we want to do that. Oh, we have a new tram. I just don't have time to try out prototypes, I'm sorry. But we're trying to get Tafel and Mittermarkt, to grow and that everything here works out. Now that I'm looking at it, actually it would be really cool to build a bridge here, wouldn't it be? Like, we don't have any bridge connection. I mean, we're not going to build like passenger transportation here, but I'm just thinking maybe build them a nice bridge. Build it and people will use it, right? Yeah, I can see that be somewhat interesting, maybe for future use. Bit waste money now, but hey. So looking at the map, you can see that we've connected up this area quite nice, and there's some connection down here. Only one connection right now. It's definitely a little bit of a bottleneck. And we have also expanded here in this direction really well. The southern part here is really well connected. And my thinking is, right now we're running pretty well. We could connect up like bit by bit, village by village, but I'm thinking maybe it's just nice to jump somewhere completely different on the map. Oh no. Oh. How did that happen? That is crazy. That is terrible. Schwarzbrunn and St. Thomas. I think that's a new connection even. I think this is not even like something old. This is something we recently built. That is absolutely dreadful. So let's try to clone that vehicle. So I actually at some point I looked that up on the OpenTTD wiki or whatever, and I think that you can do that. Like, your own things should actually stop. I don't know why they don't. I think it's only if you're running over competitors' lines that it doesn't. At least that's my understanding. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Probably I am. But yeah, that is dreadful. The loss of life, you can imagine, right? Well, there is a road just below. Was it stupid to build that bridge? No. Yeah, that it's only on competitor lines that it actually can bug out like this, or like, do this unexpected behavior. But maybe this road existed before and this therefore counted as competitor lines or something. I'm not so sure on that, actually. But we should try to avoid level crossings, is I think the main takeaway. I think I was joking about that before, but yeah, we should. So my thought is like, hey, let's jump here. Flussziller. Let's just orient ourselves here in this area, build up some connections, and then eventually it will just, I'm pretty sure that it will eventually lead back into our main network. So we have here a glassworks we can bring sand and chemicals to. Sand, I believe, is from these shoals. No, those are for fish, but there's something similar here, sandbank. So sandbanks, you can get sand. That's not out of the question. To get sand from these sandbanks up here to this glassworks. I think that's definitely within the realm of possibilities. I'm just thinking whether that's a job for boats. Is that a job for boats? Or is that a job for trains? It's quite far around here. The boats will be very slow. I'm not sure. But maybe we could also start with some passenger transportation. We have some local towns here, Langkreuz am Wilden Kaiser, and also down here. This looks really bugged. I guess it's because this cider mill and this town's name is a bit on top of each other. Right, so I think let's connect here Langkreuz and St. Georgen. I think those are some of the larger towns here, and we definitely want to make sure that we have good placements of our railways. Yes. number of tracks, 5, right. So this one is here on the left bank of this small stream here. And I guess it wouldn't be nice to have the railway too far away on the right side, but on the other hand, there isn't so much space. You could squeeze it in here as a terminus, and then run the track up. I suppose so. Yes. So we will run the track along that road, more or less. And the goal is to go here to St. Georgen. Now St. Georgen is a bit more open with the layout, but now down here is one obvious way to do it. If this is a through station later on to say Bad Kaiserstadt or something, it would of course be a little bit boxed in down here, and we probably would like to construct something a bit more up here. But of course you can always build a second train station. That's historically not out of the question. But I think if they're like more or less knowing that they will have to accommodate that, then they wouldn't put it down there. So I think we're going to put it here, and then we're going to make some accommodations with the road. So yeah, that's the plan. Right, so then let's do that. Do we want to build single track just for the fun of it? Very likely not. I think those are like a bit wasted efforts, because you will have to double track this so soon after. This is gonna be major connection point in this area. I'm confident that the railway company here is going to be important. So we're also going to redo a few of the roads here. I'm sure they love that, right? Yes. I'm actually thinking probably I will redo most of that road. It's gonna be a bit more pricey, but that's fine. We're at the point where we have the money to spare for like infrastructure projects, so we should use it. So tunneling through that, maybe. If it's a bit longer. I mean, theoretically it is, right? Yeah, so let's try to do with that. So for that, we would need to flatten out that. Bring this one forward so that we have an equal distance here. Build up something there. Then like that. Yep. And then our goal is to go down here. Now here we have to immediately drop down, but actually eventually we'll have to go back up here. But that's okay, it's not ideal, but so like that. And we already have the crossing here, so it's actually even better. So where do we want to lead the road? Basically is the question of the questions. What's the elevation level here? Can we go through here and then there? Yes, I think we can. So, like that. And then need to go one level down here somewhere. So maybe we will do that just here already, preparing to go like that. Yeah, a bit more pricey because we're building so close to the edge, but hey, that's fine if it's for aesthetic reasons. I like these little dams that you put up to make the railroad supported there. It's very nice. So that's the basic connection between these two cities, or towns rather, and we're just gonna jump down here and build a few of them. Then of course the road here is very much in the way of signaling. I should have seen that coming, so we will just make that differently. Yeah, remove the road please, and then you can build your signals. Yep, tunnels all good. And here we could add more signals like that. And then of course we want to build up that road again, but before we do that I will put a first train on here because we want to get things going. So we have here this one. I looked at this before. The max reliability is not ideal. Italian State Railway. Does it make sense compared to the Lady of the Lake is my main question. It's a bit cheaper but slower, so I think not. I think the Lady of the Lake here is indeed still the best one for us to use. Yeah, one thing actually I was thinking, I had set the day length a bit lower because I was feeling the game was progressing a bit too fast, but I think now we're at a point where I want to decrease it slightly so the game is progressing a bit faster, so that we get new things. And we're going to go with a four-wheeled carriage. That's gonna be it, and it's gonna just, let's go first here and then there. Gonna have two of them running here on this route, and we're also going to go ahead and make a mail one just to already start with that. How do I move everything at once? So like this, right? Yeah. Perfect. And this one, likewise, will go from here. I hope it accepts mail even to there. And yeah, those will be both timetabled, although the one only has one on it. But that's fine. So here we go. So mail acceptance for sure it does. And here as well. So all good. Does that count? No, it does not go because you have 90-degree turns. Okay. Fine. So the catchment area of this thing is definitely outside of the city limits a bit. So I think here we want to make sure that we're bringing up some of the cargo, the passengers, up here. So a cargo drop-off and a passenger drop-off, and we will also do two of them down here. And then ideally my vision would be to connect things up a little bit. It's pretty tight down here, so they have to do a weird turn, but that's fine. Right here, put some depot. Then we're just gonna drop in a few things. So firstly, we're going to go with the passengers. Here we are going to go, let's do some stagecoaches again for variety between those two stations here. Timetabling them. Let's do 5. I think that's fine. And what else did I want to do? I wanted to do a mail service as well, the traction engine, because it has the most capacity. Okay, a bit interesting. Try out. And those two are fine as well. Timetabling that, maybe. It's not really needed to be timetabled actually. Mail should just be delivered when it's ready in any case. Okay, here we go. The little traction engine with the carriage here. So we're expecting you to produce a lot of mail, seems like. So maybe you should get on that. And in Langkreuz here we have decent enough coverage, I suppose. It's not as bad as the other town, but I think here we don't have to wait around for capacity for things to grow. Basically, we'll just build it when it's in this stage. We're gonna pick up mail down here, and we're gonna pick up mail here, and passenger, same story. One down here, one here, and then here. And here we're gonna go also with the traction engine for picking up the things. Go here, here, here. Yeah. And then for passengers, we're going to go here with some of the more modern buses, so that there's also a little bit local tourist attraction, like that. These ones we do want to space out a bit. I'm building a few more than needed maybe, but there's also multiple stations now. So this should be quite fine. We have bags of mail and passengers already waiting here. That hopefully will make this a somewhat profitable line for us. You can take a look here. This mail one is running still empty. There's not much mail being delivered here yet. In fact, none, basically. Because the mail is stuck here in the inner city. That's fine. That is fine. You build it, people will start to use it. So then, with this little railroad started, what is our next goal? What do we want to connect next? So we could just expand the railroad out. So crossing that the river here, the river Zilla. So we could cross the Zilla here and just connect it over to Bad Grein Kaiserstadt, potentially passing by Großvöslach. I think that might be interesting. There's also, what is down here? There's an iron ore factory here that later on could be connected to our main network. So yes, I see that the hills here are definitely in the way. So the best way to pass is like here on the eastern side, I suppose, of the Großvöslach area. So let's just see what we can do here. So here's an option for a bridge. So we build one bridge here. And we'll not double track that potentially, maybe just leave it like that. And then here at the very edge, we would also cross over at a high cost. And then here would be the railroad where it would need to be joining up with the station up here. So we could build the viaduct road up here, like so. For now, let's be a bit money saving by building it single tracked here. Then we can see what part we want to expand and which ones we might just leave like that. It's actually, I like single tracked railroads as well. In this game, unfortunately, they're a little bit less than ideal in most cases because the capacity needs on these in this game are growing so fast. But just yesterday I was actually at a really nice excursion, I would say, where there was a single track railroad line. It was beautiful actually. You could see the trains go by. There are not so many trains running, so you could take some nice photographs. I like single track railroads. They're very rural and nice in theory. So we're gonna build a small stop here, and we'll make it proper stations just so that trains can pass each other here at least. And I already foresee that we're gonna have some trouble with this, since it's a bit tight and misaligned. But it kind of works like that in theory. Maybe we want to learn from our mistakes already and build a proper crossing. It's also something that is not really done anymore. I think in Germany at least, nobody builds level crossings anymore, basically, unless it's absolutely like historic or something. Like if you build a new railroad, you don't build level crossings, because why would you? And then I see this little hill here, this mountainous area is definitely a little bit in the way. So there's a few paths that I can kind of spot, just barely, that squeeze through to some degree. Hard to see, but very, very much possible here to go more or less on one level. Then come out to the top here, just on the edge of the game map even. Like right here on this little lake here, we will have our terminus station, which captures most of the town, which is quite nice. So we're already gonna just drop down here. The roads, they hate that. But hey, what can we do? We're just trying to build the railway line in the name of His Majesty, the Emperor. So that's fine. Single tracked, at least it's fine. If we wanted to expand it later, we could. And that will be that. I will run that out like as a bit of a lead here for no real reason, just because you have the space. And that should be possibly all, except for the signaling, which we will just put in now. Bit of those semaphores here, and then the same story back here. Then that should be all if we are going to go only single tracked. The question is now how does we connect those things? I think we just expand the line, because there isn't really any reason to like make a feeder line just to this little town of St. Gorgon. I think the whole line should just be used. So then let's do that. This is the passenger one. Is this the mail one? Nope, that's also passenger. The mail train is. There's the mail train. Do you guys see it? I don't see it yet. I see, okay, I missed it, I mistook it. This is passenger, then this is mail, right? But this one I selected already, then this is the mail one. Indeed it is. Okay, then, so we're going from Landkreuz to St. Georgen, and then we're going to just go ahead and make a stop here in the Kaiserstadt. And then here, but also I forgot this town here, of course, I'm sorry. So after St. Georgen, you first go to Großfürstler, and on the way from the Kaiserstadt, you also drop by here quickly. So this should be great. And then this one will have the same type of idea. After that, we will go here, then there, then here, and then here again. So making a point-to-point connection. That should be really great, except for the single tracking, which is definitely gonna get in our way. So we're gonna double track at least some parts of it to make sure that this line functions better. Definitely there's an opportunity to build those bridges as well, double tracked. Well, yep. So they are going to complain about tax, how badly the taxes were used here to build this bridge, and then they find out like it's a too small bridge just a month later. But there you go, new bridge. And yeah, then let's connect that up as well. That should work, except for the signaling, which we'll do in a second. I wish this game had sometimes like a, build two roads at once kind of feature, or like make a parallel road to the existing one. That would be quite handy in some cases, I think. Yeah, so this exit will be single tracked for now. Yeah, I did that correctly. That's also correctly. Perfect. Then this crossing here is unnecessarily, but actually is somewhat necessary. Okay, good. Good. And then let's take a quick look here at this road. And here we will just basically go through it all the way. Yeah, there's no reason to be any special here. Except a little bit of terraforming, which is seemingly required here in some cases. To fill in some of the holes. Maybe our own. We took some of the dirt here to build up the elevated train here, so that's fine. We'll just fill it in with some construction material here. This is also good, more or less. We will make a proper crossing a little bit close. Oh, we have a proper crossing already, so already didn't need it, so that's good. And then here we are a little bit constrained again by the elevation. Of course, we could try to move around it, but in some cases where, like here, where it doesn't really matter that much, I think a bit of terraforming is also an acceptable solution. I try to avoid it, but hey, here it is the easier, cheap way to build this up. And then we don't need to have this crossing, and we can signal this out like that. That already doubles the capacity on the whole line. And why are you not moving then, my friend? Don't you want to go to the next one? You're loading and unloading. So you're spaced out, just that's the main reason. And now you're going. Excellent. The Kaiserstadt is a little bit unhappy with us, but they do want to ride the train nonetheless. And they want to probably go. Where do they want to go? Let's check it quickly before it comes. They want to go to Großvöslach, just down here. They don't want to cross the river yet. That'll be for the future. Right now they just want to go to the neighboring town. The people down here, they are waiting patiently for their mails and their passengers to be delivered, and likewise here quite a few people. So I already see that the capacity is needed to grow these things here. So we will just expand quickly, just slightly here. This is the passenger train, and we'll build 2 more of them. And if I can catch quickly the the mail train, I would also expand that one. So let's just do that. This one is the mail train, correct? Yes, but it's running empty right now. So it seems that the capacity on this one is not so needed, but I saw that there was some mail waiting on different places, so I think it's not less of a capacity thing, but rather, you know, be at the right time and deliver more regularly, because there is mail waiting for sure, just not so much yet that those trains get used up completely. And we are seeing that these new investments have brought down our statistics slightly, certainly. We have huge operating costs here, but we also earn quite good money. So that's fine. And we're making a profit if we don't build some huge stuff, at least. That's my hypothesis. Yeah, new construction is definitely huge in most months and used most years. So if we don't spend so much on that, we're going to make a profit. I wanted to actually see that. There seems to be some issue, so let's maybe take a quick look at that one before we end the session. Yep, there we go. What are you talking about? Okay. We have some sort of deadlock situation here in this crossing. That's, I think, the first time that we had this. So I think, essentially, the main issue here is that we can just build a signal here, which we don't have money for. So let's borrow some. Then that should maybe be possible to resolve. Why there are no signals in the tunnels anyway? Why didn't we build signals in the tunnels? I mean, this doesn't really solve it completely, because obviously this crossing is hugely ineffective, and as we saw, it's possible that a train can just go there. So I think the real solution would be to build the entry and exit signals here on this thing, to make this a proper block that you don't enter unless you can also exit it. But maybe the more proper even solution would be to make it so that this is a more efficient crossing and you can not block each other in this way. So I think we'll have to take that on my list of future projects. We're going to repay quickly that loan, and I'm going to call the episode here. Thank you for watching and sticking with me in this new adventure. See you next time. Bye bye.